she just happens to come upstairs, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunate, crisis for her and I happened, once she came upstairs, you know what I'm saying? Because I had this, I had no other choice but to, you know, put the pistol, as soon as she opened that door, I had no other choice but to put the pistol in her face. It escalated from there that much more because I decided to continue to work, not only commit home invasion. If you know who you have to hit. You just know around the neighborhood. You know who getting money. You know who getting money. You know who not getting money. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And those who getting money, are a target. And if you get money off of an illegal way, oh man, we consider that free bang. Oh, people are asking. I watch people literally reach out for help, man, because they don't know how to. God, they don't know how to change, man. They want to change, but they don't know how because they got no guidance, no instruction from no one. All they get is pure purgatory, man.
Hello and welcome to the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by Jdubs, Justin Richardson, and our guest today, returning for the second time, is the one and only Josh Holmes. Last time Josh was on the show, we had a really great conversation about growing up in the 90s and the different great things that we had back then. Then we talked about his early life coming up. He lived in California, he lived in Ambler, in PA, in Harrisburg, all these different places, and seemingly me and him maybe crossed paths 1,000 times without even knowing. Then we talk about him getting into some trouble down in Baltimore and in school and things like that, and bouncing around to a couple schools. And then we left off with him moving to Maryland with his aunt. We're going to pick up from there. We're going to have some disputed questions in this. We'll start off with that segment. We'll have Jdubs Questions in this as well. Then we'll get into the backstory of Josh. Josh's Instagram is hybridholmes_88. Where you can see his artwork. He has his artwork up as his background. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But man, this was a heck of a show. It really, Josh really, he showed a lot of courage in this episode by opening up about some true feelings about his time being incarcerated and the different things that he experienced on the inside. And I can't thank him enough for being open and honest and sharing with us. And without any further ado, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming to you by Jdubs, Justin Richardson. Our guest today is the one and only Josh Holmes. Enjoy. Hello, and welcome to the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by Jdubs, Justin Richardson, and returning and defending the one and only Josh Holmes. Josh, how are you, my man? Purple unicorns is how we doing. So
I'm
Josh,
representing and presenting myself as the Purple Unicorns mascot today. You know what I'm saying? So
love it. Purple unicorns always need a mascot. Josh, thank you so much for returning on the show. Last time you were here, we had a heck of a discussion. Started off by talking about D3 and the Three Ninjas and some Talk Boys and really reminiscing about the 90s. Then we had a great discussion about your early life coming up, how we probably crossed paths 1,000 times without even knowing it. And then, because, you had lived in Palo Alto when I was in California. Then you lived in Ambler, Wissahickon when I was living in Lansdale, right? So we crossed paths without knowing it 1,000 times. Finally, we're brought together at the LA Fitness where I met you and knew I had to get this guy on the show. So without, then we ended up where we ended the last episode, which is available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Where we ended the last episode was you had been thrown out. You were living at your buddy's house, and his mom had a drinking problem. She threw you out, right? Then
right.
after she threw you out, you went to your friend Tim's house and got right, and then you went down to your aunt's house in Maryland, and that's kind of where we left it off. So before we get back into your story, one, I want to shout out a couple things. One, for all those watching on video, you can see behind Josh, he has some of his artwork, which you can find and purchase at hybridholmes_88 on Instagram. So we'll have a link for that in the description of this episode. Make sure you check it out. It's really great stuff, really intriguing, thought-provoking, fun stuff. And then also, last time you were here, Josh, we didn't get to do this, but we have a segment on the show called the Disputed Questions. And what it is
Okay.
thus, is that I'm going to ask you some questions, right? And either you can give an answer that would agree with Justin, which would be wrong, or you can give an answer that would agree with me, which would be correct.
Okay.
So, without any further ado, the first disputed question is, what movie do you think is better, The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
Hey. Ah. The Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, you're right. You're very
Yeah.
much right. That's a correct answer. Godfather Part 2, correct answer. Let's keep it moving. What about Cheetos? Do you like crunchy or puffed?
Crunchy.
Yeah, yeah. Not a lot of puffs these days, Justin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a
It's
lot of
fast.
puffs. What about pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then who do you like better, Chevy Chase or Bill Murray?
Come on, bro. Bill Murray, bro.
Yeah, right. Like that's even a
Bill Murray.
question anymore,
Bill
huh?
Murray, bro. Come on.
What about
Come on.
Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that one's batting 1,000 on Chappelle. Did it. I did it right now. Did it. What about when you go to a theme park? Do you like an amusement park or a water park?
Both.
Both.
What do I prefer?
Yeah.
What? All right. So I prefer. Woo! Damn, and this may be a lie. A water park. You,
It was,
you
it was fun while it lasted. It was fun while it lasted. The ride was
Water parks
fun
are
while it
fancy.
lasted.
bro. The water parks have. Oh my god, bro! I can't wait. I'm gonna take you on a water ride when we go to Six Flags or something like that, man. Like water parks are really like extreme nowadays, man. For
I
real.
mean,
So
I'd hope so because it was just a lot of dirty Band-Aids and pee water back in the day. And maybe it still is, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So, all right, last question and probably the most important question you'll ever be asked, Josh. When it comes to eating wings, are you drums or are you flats?
I'm flats, bro.
Wow.
See,
Wow. I mean, you had
There's
such
stability.
potential.
Justin
And
says, "See."
It's the right answer.
is it, Justin? Is
Yeah.
it? So very good. All right. Well, thank you for that, Josh. Really good stuff. So that was disputed questions. I want to keep it moving with our other segment. This is everyone's favorite segment. It's now time for Jdubs Questions, asking some questions.
Hey,
Jdubs Questions, a
hey,
new
hey.
favorite segment.
What?
Jdubs
Hey,
Questions segment. Yeah, haven't
J
done that in a
Dubs
while, huh,
questions.
Justin?
Okay, come on now.
You had any broken bones?
Oh, no.
Any cavities?
None.
Nice,
Ooh.
same. Well, I've had broken bones, but no cavities. I've kept swell teeth. Who's the most famous person you ever met?
Omar from The Wire.
For real?
No.
Yes. Caught him
Michael
Michael
coming.
K.
Yo,
Williams?
Yeah.
Michael K.
yo,
Williams, I believe.
hey, yo, caught him coming out of a giant grocery store in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You hear me?
What? What was he doing there?
He was going shopping.
Heroin?
8 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. He gonna
Well,
say
I mean,
heroin. You ain't Justin. You sad, man. Come on.
Just kidding.
You sad, man. Damn.
what?
Rest in
Wait.
peace, Omar.
Yeah, dude. R.I.P. He was one of the great. But wait,
A
is he
talented
from
man.
Harrisburg?
Yes, his mother stays. Well, I don't know. I don't know. As if she stays, like where exactly where she stays, but I know she stays in Harrisburg, uptown in the city. So, yeah,
Oh,
that's the only reason
dude.
why he would be around. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a random moment too, because like I said, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. I just started my shift. My friend and I were just out front, just hanging out.
Dude, you must have
Uh,
lost it. I would have been like,
no. See,
Omar.
I'm not a So when
Yeah, be like,
when I come
Omar
across
coming.
like yeah, when I come across famous people, like which not I haven't come across more C-listers than A-listers. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan, and I'm not a fanatic that'll go out their way and be like, yo, what's God damn, you saved the world. Nah, I'm gonna show you some. I'm like, yo, like when I see Omar, I said, Omar. I said, man, what's up, man? I said, yo, it's nice to see you, man. And he's like, yo, what's up, y'all? And he like literally just jumped in his whip and kept it moving, man. But it was random though, cause
I,
like,
I
damn,
I
dog,
mean
stopping that
that
giant.
is, I mean I would say it's strange to classify like the type of celebrity Omar was because he's like a cult hero. You know what I mean? So like everyone, you'd be excited to see him just because like the characters he's played have been so great. Like Chalky White in Boardwalk Empire, phenomenal
Yeah, a lot of people
character.
slept on that show too, though.
Oh,
You
he
know,
was phenomenal as Chalky White. And then obviously Omar is his big one. But he was in some other stuff too where he did really well. But I know like HBO like to use him a lot. But yeah, dude, that's a really cool one. Keep going, Justin.
That's fantastic. Do you have a dream car?
Ooh.
Lamborghini.
Lambo.
So it's so cliche though, and the only reason why I say Lamborghini because w- I used to look at magazines and I'd be like, damn, that's a nice Lamborghini, and I'd be like, damn, I can only imagine what it would be like to be in a
Yeah.
Lamborghini, especially as short as I am. I can fit right in that junk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What's the
go ahead.
what what's the last movie that made you cry?
Mighty Ducks D3.
Never. Um.
Is
Damn. Ah.
Three Ninjas 2.
there a sequel to Three Ninjas?
Oh yeah, dude. I think there's three of them actually.
What movie
Because I
made me
think the
cry?
third one is baseball heavy.
Yeah, I couldn't even I
Y-
couldn't even tell you right now. I can not off the top of my head right now because I know there's one out there, but I don't know if have you ever seen damn Hurricane?
Yeah.
Here
Denzel
comes the
Washington?
story of the hurricane.
Great movie.
Yo,
He's gonna
Hurricane
be the
was real
champion
shit.
of the world.
So like I didn't cry, but it's like I had an emotional, compound of
You don't cry.
series.
You
You
don't
feel
cry
me? Of,
movies.
of water tearing up in my nah,
Hey,
but I that was a good movie though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's based off a real story, man.
Do you
yeah.
believe in ghosts?
So I believe I don't consider them ghosts. I consider them just like deities, your angels and your ancestors that may be helping you in the the other realm. I do believe in entities, that do haunt, people. As you can
Hmm.
tell exactly, because I mean it's evident, shit, look at the world, so yeah, I believe in all that.
Do you?
Nice.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
So my favorite conspiracy theory would be the the way the UFOs seem to all of a sudden just to be, appearing all of a sudden. Suddenly these unidentified flying objects, you know, hovering around, in triangular formation, seem to be considered UFOs, but yet, we would deny that conspiracy. So I don't know what's going on out here, folks, but we do know there seems to be something going on, that is evident, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big time.
How do you feel about Hamburger Helper?
Best.
I am infatuated with Hamburger Helper. What I indulge in the I used to because I don't eat meat no more. So let me correct this.
Uh,
When my mom used to whip that thing going up with the cheese
oh,
and that. Oh my goodness, man!
Oh,
We throw it on the
dude,
bun.
the
Yeah,
sound,
I mean, bro, look, I
the
whip it up.
sound the spoon made when it went through. You know, is that not the best ever?
there's Tuna Helper.
Listen, so,
Yeah, they do have tuna
uh,
helper.
Tuna Helper's
tuna
Yeah,
still pretty
helper,
good.
yeah.
I mean,
Sleeper,
it's not
sleeper,
as
tuna
good.
helper. Sure. I mean, there's only one. Josh, could you ever love a girl that didn't love hamburger helper?
no,
Yeah.
I
Can you
would
ever love
deny
anybody that
her
doesn't
the
love hamburger
I
helper?
would deny them approval of my kingdomship. I cannot govern anybody, with ignorance. You feel me? Of the
Right.
way things used to be back in the good old days.
Right.
Like seriously, like yeah, I mean,
They just haven't
because
lived enough
that's
life yet.
bro, that's like someone you're like, yo, have you ever watched? Yo, y'all remember UPN? Living
UPN
single.
57?
Come on, so that's like somebody not
Hanging
knowing.
with Mr.
That's like
Cooper?
hanging with Mr. Cooper. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's like somebody not knowing about the show Martin. I can't talk to
Oh,
you.
bro.
You insulting me. You insulting the history of my nature. And then you insulting Matt. You insulting Justin. I feel some type of way. Because you're
Right.
ignorant to the fact of how good these sitcoms were, man. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
bro.
Like, they scared
Bro.
America,
Little
bro.
Family Matters, little Hang on
Oh,
Mr.
my God.
Cooper, little
Step
Boy Meets
by step.
World. Oh, man. Dude, I'll tell you, shout out to, she started off as a tomboy, but
You.
Al, dude, Al
Oh, come
became
on,
a
man.
hater.
Definitely,
He was
definitely,
a
bro. Definitely.
hater.
Come on, man. Come on,
Shout
man.
out Al, fan of the show,
Bro, shout
listener
out
of the
to
show.
Al. For real, bro.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Sorry
Justin.
now. Yeah, we got over with. Sorry about that.
Did you get a sex talk as a child?
No, no. So what I did indulge in was creeping into uh my father's bedroom one day and coming across a porno tape from Blockbuster. You know what I
Do
mean?
you
And
remember
I
what it
happened
was
to come
called?
across. No, I do not, but I do recall the scene where a woman was so justified by the fact that she indulged in basking the soothing sound of hearing the urine hit her body. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it got
Damn,
real
your
on there. You
dad
know what I'm
got
saying?
down like that?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, my
so I don't know, some
God.
freaky shit going on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, pissing on, you know, like that. The woman, it got nasty. Put it like that. It got too nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Took a
Like
real weird turn.
word up. Yeah, I mean,
Do you
it just
remember
got
how weird,
nasty. You know?
Matt? Do you
And I'm
remember
like,
like
hell no.
Penthouse or Penthouse or Hustler? One of those magazines had like a weird. They would always have like if you got your hands on one as a kid, you could flip through it, but there would always be a weird section. It'd be like piss or like shaving or like there'd always be something weird going on in those magazines when you were a kid.
Yeah, they always had like a gimmick. I do
Do y'all
remember
remember
that.
the box, the cable box, the all black box
Yeah.
that we
Yeah, of
had? That
course.
okay? Remember on? Do you remember the only the only channel that had the sexual content was channel 99, if you can recall. So channel 99 was the only channel that can literally, which was like HBO back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And they would literally play porn. You know what I'm saying? Like channel 99 on the box. It would be porn. It would be 90s era porn, if you can imagine what that should look like. You know what I'm saying?
The
For real.
sophomore
So
Red Shoe Diary.
Oh, damn.
Josh, do you have any questions for me?
um let me see. Do you believe in ghosts?
No,
Why not?
because it's a ridiculous concept.
Wow, what makes it ridiculous?
But
Well,
you're a
like,
flat earther?
no, I'm not really a flat earther. I just
Oh,
think
what?
it's
So you
How,
cool.
just said
hold
that to
on, what
mess
makes it
with
ridiculous
Josh?
though?
No,
What makes it ridiculous?
I like the idea of flat earth. I think it's fun. It doesn't make it ridiculous. If to have ghosts, you would have to have like an afterlife. Then you'd have to have like parameters in which like ghosts would operate in. If I believed in ghosts, I feel like I would have to hunt ghosts. Like if I really believed in aliens or ghosts or any of that kind of nonsense, I would like why wouldn't you try to fully find the extent to which it exists? Like I don't believe in like magic and stuff, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
if it was real, I would like
Wow.
hunt it, wouldn't you?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't give a fuck about them, you know, because they you know, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, they must have an assignment. If you know, we are considering these, you know, ghost entities, whatever we would like to call them. You know, obviously there's a name out here for a reason. There's no one thing you can always put common sense on. This is why I love common sense because it's free, you know. And secondly, here's another thing, Justin. Guess what? You gotta ask yourself, well, how the hell they come up with the name Ghost? How the hell they come up with the name Entity? How they come up with Entity?
Well, that's the
How they
thing.
come up with the name Spirit? So
I'm
you have
not
to ask yourself
yeah.
these things because now if you know we're getting to the root of the problem here. You know, so
I'm
this is
not
what I would ask. You
like
know,
mean to the
myself.
point where I'm like, if people tell me they've seen a ghost, I believe them when they say they've seen a ghost. I haven't
So
seen a
you gotta
ghost.
see it for yourself.
So I
Right.
don't know, but like
And
people will tell anybody who believes in ghosts has a ghost story.
That was Jdubs Questions. Let's keep it moving. All right. Thank you for that, Justin. So, like I said, last time Josh was here, where we left off was Josh he had been, you know, we had talked about how grew up in Harrisburg for a little bit, then went to California, then came back and lived in Ambler, and then moved to Harrisburg, then went to
Shout out to Ambler.
Baltimore, then left Baltimore and came back to the Ambler area again. Was living with a friend. His friend's mom liked to drink. One night she got a little sloshed, threw Josh out of the house. Josh had to find somewhere to sleep that night, then went to his friend Tim's house. Tim's mom took him in, got him right, and then he was on his way to his aunt's house, is where we left off. So let's recap a little bit. You had a girlfriend at this time. You were struggling, right? You were living in a friend's couch. The mom kicked you out. Then you went to Tim. Tim said, hey, love you, but let's get you set up. Then you were able to contact your aunt. Your aunt said, get your behind down here to Maryland, right? So
Shout
then
out to
you
my
left.
auntie.
Shout out to Auntie. So you left PA and you headed to Maryland on a hope and a prayer. So what's happening there?
So now, um, and in those moments, it was just a mere fact of her providing an opportunity, and I stayed out there for about four, 4 to 5 months, and I squandered the opportunity by leaving it and going back to the city because I had missed the streets pretty
What
much as
city?
that
What city is this?
Harrisburg. So I
Okay.
decided to go. Yeah, so I decided to move back to Harrisburg for
So
some
what was the
stupid
opportunity that you
reason.
were squandering?
The one that she was presenting for allowing me to stay with her after taking me off the street, you
Okay.
know, and placing a roof over my head by sheltering me. So when she provided the refuge and the food,
Yeah.
it you know, it was a different for me back in the day. It was different. I
Yeah.
never felt love.
You
Have you
can
ever been loved, really loved before? Like passionately loved,
not until I
not
met my wife.
unconditionally. All right, and
Yeah.
see, so you know exactly what that shit feel like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like showing me exactly what that was, but I was too
It's
busy,
scary at
being
first. And you're getting in your own way.
out of my own way,
You
man.
can take the dude off the streets, but you can't take the streets out of the dude, right?
Funny thing is, I'm not even a street dude, bro. I just decided to hang around with my cousins and his friends, and I took upon the behavior tactic.
Mm.
I never been one to consider any type of criminal mind state. I didn't grow up
Mm.
like that. I was raised
Mm.
in California, like I told you. My father raised me in a good home, a great
Mm-hmm.
home, food on the
Mm-hmm.
table, shoes on my feet, the whole nine. So I was very disruptive with my way of thinking because I had the proper guidance, but I decided not to utilize it. You get what I'm saying?
What do you think was the cause of that? Were you just looking for something different? Did you think it was because you
I thought I
recognized
was
like
missing. Sorry to
were you
cut you off.
getting
I thought I
like
was
go ahead.
no. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I really thought I was missing out on like because I left to be mindful. I left all my friends, my wannabe friends. I'm gonna call them wannabe friends. So I
Yeah.
felt the absence of that, that environment. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
was used
what
to
yeah.
being around in that, that
So
doing
I'll tell you
whatever.
as much
So
as I'll tell you, as much as sports is very positive for you and very fundamental, it does get you used to kind of like a team camaraderie and a team atmosphere. And I remember even after I was done like playing like team sports, I would still look for like a team camaraderie and a team atmosphere and acceptance on a team like I did, so like we would get like, even like we would have, I guess it became more of like you had like a clique you would hang out with, even in like your, like your 20s and late teens. And that's the kind of thing you're looking for. And like a
yo,
lot of
facts.
guys, I feel like a lot of guys do that. And I think they find that with like a neighborhood thing, right? So like after I was done like the high school team sports, I really grasped onto like the neighborhood gang aspect of things. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yes,
Justin,
yes,
you
yes.
kind of had something similar in a way with the end up guys. Is that right?
Yeah, at a certain point, I traded sports for hanging out with the part that I liked most about sports was hanging out with my friends, and I traded
Mm.
sports for hanging out with my friends to do drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, same. So, okay. So that's kind of I think you're kind of in the same mindset there, Josh, right? where it's like you're like, okay, I want this camaraderie, I want this acceptance, and then also, but you're getting fooled in a way of thinking like these are my actual boys, like these are my friends, when really they're not, right? Like everyone's out for
Absolutely,
themselves.
absolutely.
It's
The only individuals that really had my back in that entire throughout those entire um let's just call them explorations because they were explorations and we got to explore, about who exactly Joshua was, and how much he could develop, later on. But yo, I my cousin was the only one that, of course, stayed loyal and apologized to me when I was incarcerated, because in his words, as I quote, I apologize, cousin, because I could have stopped, I could have avoided all of this that we're
yeah.
currently dealing with right now, because you were definitely never meant to even be, toting no pistols, robbing people. That don't even fit you. But anyway, he apologized to me, and he was very apologetic, and it was, and it was heartfelt, and I understood exactly where he came from. But also,
Do you
I
think that
apologized
was
back
real
because I
guilt
took on
that
the
he felt?
actions. Absolutely, absolutely. That's my cousin. That's
So at the end of the day, your actions are your own. I agree with that. Do you really think though that there was true guilt? Because I'll tell you this: I had a buddy of mine who was kind of like I was like his old head at times. He was my friend, but I would like had gotten into like drinking and doing drugs and things like that, and he had stayed straight, right? But then he wanted to, like I kind of like got him into doing that, and then he really took on a life of its own, and he went, he did his own, kept it rolling, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I introduced it, but then he took it to a whole nother level. Is
that,
that
and
kind of
that was
something that?
me, Matt.
Yeah.
That was me,
Okay.
Matt. I took it. I'm an alchemist at heart, and that's just what I'm. Sit here and meant here. And excuse me, sit and meant to purposely fulfill here while I'm on my journey.
When you say an
And I took
alchemist, what do you mean?
Turn
so
metal
like
into
I'm
gold.
I'm so I'm I'm a creative. I'm very innovative.
Okay.
I'm constantly like a mad scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, because the science of my creativity, is so innovative that it can only evolve. If it stays stagnant, I will not be fulfilling my purpose. You get what I'm saying? So my art
Mm-hmm.
constantly evolves, and it's strange just watching it evolve in front of my face. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
anyhow, you know, an alchemist in that manner. You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
the alchemy, yeah, yeah, you can
You're a
see
tool
certain
for
alchemists out.
creativity. I agree.
Absolutely, you know what I'm saying? You can tell, most alchemists are very,
So,
innovative.
but were you searching too for like an identity as well? So like you went back
Absolutely,
to
I've
the
been
streets and you're
searching.
looking, you want like that street recognition and that street name and everything like that, right?
So who who isn't looking for that identity? And I was looking
Agreed.
for it.
Agreed.
And
Especially at
I was
that
looking.
age.
I was
Everyone wants
fairly
that.
fairly looking for a place to put myself in. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to fight. You know what I'm saying? I took my losses, but very few. But
So we you touched on it a little bit earlier, and I'm not trying to be insulting, and I'm
mhm,
not trying to belittle you in any way, right? But you did say, like, do you feel like there was some kind of, I don't want to say Napoleon complex, but something of like a need to prove yourself in a way, and maybe that's
never,
why
because
that's
I
okay.
was always, like I said, I was always athletic. So coming from
Okay.
California, or so going to California, ran it. I was always a popular guy, always a popular
Okay.
guy. As you can tell.
I can
And
tell.
so so my nature here has always been a force to be reckoned with.
So you weren't
So
starting the fights, you were finishing them.
I was more so looking forward to fighting more than
Okay.
anything.
I
Sometimes I
see.
was looking forward to causing chaos in classrooms,
Mhm.
because I could not sit there and, I just couldn't sit down, be still, and listen. And that's
Yeah.
why, it was just rough
So,
because I stopped paying attention when I moved back to the East Coast. Why? Because there was no father under the roof no more.
okay.
You get what I'm
No
saying?
discipline. Yeah.
There was nothing.
Lack of a
Not we're not
disciplinarian.
we're not
Yeah.
pointing fingers to nobody, but this is what goes on.
No,
You
when
know,
you're a boy, you need that harsh discipline, right?
you need
Like
guidance. You
there
need guidance.
agreed. And sometimes it needs to come in a physical manner. Like I'll tell you, dude, and we touched on it last time you were here. When my dad left, the law left with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like I
yes.
was 15, turned 16, and my mom, I was like, fucking get me with whatever you want. It doesn't hurt anymore. Like what are you gonna do?
Yes.
So it was kind of like you just did your own thing. So okay, so let's do a timeline check. So you left your aunt's home, you went back to Harrisburg. What were like, and you're causing all kinds of mischiefs. What's going on now? Like, what are the kind of things you're doing? Where are
So
you
I'm
working? What do you got
pretending.
going on?
So I'm pretending now to be a hustler. The
Okay.
reason why I said pretending because I was selling probably about like not even over 4 ounces of weed throughout the week. You
Hmm.
feel me? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like I'm not
You were
even
just
really like
selling enough to smoke for
I'm
free.
just exactly and participating in child-like activities as we all do.
Well, okay. So eventually things would ramp up, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember like a time or something that happened that caused things to ramp up or escalate? Or did
Just
they was it
just
natural
being
progression?
no, it's just natural progression because you're Matt. It's a cycle, Matt. Look at it. And I hate to be blunt. Matter of fact, I don't actually. It's just, the mere fact is it's a cycle, Matt. I fell into that cycle.
So
So
so you go from Cali back to the East Coast, you're bouncing around, you're doing all kinds of things, and then you find like a place in the streets, and then and like you said, it was your choice to go back to the streets, but once you got in there, it wasn't your choice to stay. You just kind of got swallowed up into the culture.
decided to be a part of that lifestyle because who wants to be dependent, especially when you're 18, 19. Who want to be
What kind of
who want
things were you doing besides selling weed? Anything else?
just no, just hanging out, just partying,
Okay.
hanging out.
Yeah.
When anytime, just being a part of the street life is an experience that most Caucasians, unfortunately, won't get the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean that in, like I said, no racial discriminative form or factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm not a racist. When you live with your friends in the city and you get to go to these corner stores, and I didn't even grow up in the city. I used to just go there for the summer with my cousins, you know. So growing up in the city with them and going to all the block parties with all the people, mind you, Harrisburg is my home ground. So all my family members all around. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tribal thing, and I decided to be amongst the dangerous.
So okay, so you're in the streets now, and then were you and like you're hustling and stuff like that. Did you have any other jobs, or were you just doing that?
So I started working. I started working again with my uncle, doing a little bit of construction, in the midst of all that, while all that was
Hmm.
going on a little bit. But I
Were
took
you
on. I started.
consistent with that or no?
No, 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 no,
Okay,
because yeah, he would come and get us every now and then.
yeah,
So let me see. I was working, like I said, I was working at the giant grocery store where I met Omar. So during that time, this was where I was. I was in Harrisburg still.
okay.
And yeah, 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 yeah. So I took on that job, and I took on like a few temp agency jobs. But other than that, I was just lollygagging, wandering,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
being an idiot, being
Okay. So
ignorant.
then,
You know.
so then, what? So then you kind of landed in some hot water. What kind? Can you kind of give us a rundown of what led to that?
My incarceration.
Yeah.
So that was later on.
Okay.
That was like, yeah, way later because I started, like I started picking up my life. As the years, went along because I started getting it together. I started figuring
Yeah.
out what responsibility was, you
Okay.
know, and I started taking responsibility of my action as a man, and I thoroughly started adulting, and
Did
that
you have
from
any
Harris from
girlfriends or anything at this time, or were you just single? Or
I was still with the same girlfriend. So like anytime I get a
oh,
girlfriend,
the
I usually
same
stay with them
one
for
from before.
yeah, 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 yeah. She was
Oh
riding with me for a
wow, so
minute.
you guys dated for a long time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was a dope experience, man.
All right.
That's why we still, I still bust it up with her to this day. But anyhow, yeah. So from Harrisburg, this is where the trouble actually started escalating. I got into an incident in Harrisburg at at the mall where we got into a fight. My cousin and I. Oh yeah, yeah. And all right, so a friend of mine, my cousin and I, we were at the mall. We got into a fight. It was a dude that had a problem with me. Of course, we took care of it. And I'm not gloating about it. Oh, we took care. I hate this, because this is how ignorant we are, man.
Yeah. And do you remember what the beef was about?
It was a neighborhood, like just a little neighborhood stench, you know what I'm saying? Where,
Just kind of just like shit talking.
yeah, yeah, just, that's all, and we happened to run
Yeah.
into the guy while I was with my cousin. And of course, the guy's a little bit bigger than I, so my cousin's that much bigger than the guy, and my cousin's like, oh, that's him? Of course, I had my friend with me too, so
Yeah.
it got ugly, very ugly, and we went to court for that and everything. But anyway, that's what led all right, so that
What, did you get an
escalated.
assault charge?
Yes, yes, which is on my record right now as we speak, and I will show you the paperwork.
That's tough.
I
I
mean,
believe you.
seriously. Um,
Get that
yeah.
expunged
So
after 10
anyhow,
years.
Assault charges are tough.
yeah. Anyhow, it escalated from there that much more because I decided to continue to not only um commit home invasions, which I got away with a lot of shit, man.
A
Rob Best
home
Buys,
invasion?
home
Sneaking,
invasions.
are we sneaking
Go,
into homes when they're not home or when people
I'm
are
I'm
home?
talking. When they're not home. When they're not home.
okay.
Done no
How
harm to.
So
big?
what was okay? So what was like the system? Like you would camp out at a house, get
So,
their like
all right.
routine.
So first take on this. I don't want to glorify any of this
No,
You're not
activity that I
glorifying it.
participate
You're just
terrible
that I
breaking it
idea.
down.
participated
It's
in.
fine.
So one, I don't even want to really break it down because it's so behind me. Because this is how haunting, this is, and I mean this, fellas. This is how haunting it is to my
Hmm.
soul it's still days where I cannot recover
Well, all
on
right,
or
Josh. If this is tough to talk about, we don't have to talk
no,
about
no,
it.
it's never talked. I just want to let you know that most people have trouble progressively talking about this, bro.
Mm,
I mean, because for the mere
mm,
fact that they put themselves through this shit, and that's the
mm,
hard pill to swallow.
mm,
A lot of people can't swallow that one, man. So
mhm.
yeah. So anyhow, like I said, it was a tactic. You know, in the way we operated was just we watch, you know, keep a lookout, and we perform. After the lookout is thoroughly strategically, found out that there is nothing, you feel me, or existing, you feel me, within its presence, you feel me, of the residents, then
How long
we
would
take a
that
board.
usually take?
It'd take less than 2 minutes.
So you'd realize like,
Because
okay,
we
no
figure
one's
out no, because
home,
we know if you know who you have to hit.
and
You
it
get what
would
I'm
be
saying?
people you kind of knew.
You just know around the neighborhood. You know who getting
Okay.
money. You know who getting money.
Hmm.
You know who not getting money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And those who
Yep.
getting money, are a target. And if you get money off of an illegal way, oh man, we consider that
Yeah.
free bands.
Because
You know what I'm saying?
you can't call the police. I
Can't
gotcha.
call the police. Best thing ever. And then when I figured out that was, like the
Okay.
best thing or the beneficial factor to that system, then like I said, I'm the best at what I do at anything I do, and I became like almost an elite at that shit until I got caught. For real,
Okay,
man.
you're mapping out, you're figuring out like who's holding some cash, and you're like, okay, let's wait till there's an opening, and then are you doing this by yourself or did you have people with you?
No, I told you I learned this from a group.
Okay,
Like I was taught this. I was
okay.
taught this. You know what I'm saying? It
So
started from Go ahead.
what's the strategy then?
So, how they operated, they would perform, see anyone openly see. This is the dumb way. I initially um got, or I initially started with or started operating the way they were, which is just jump out on people in the projects or somewhere, or the biggest drug dealer out there in the projects, and pull your gun out, whatever, stick them up,
So you
you
would have
know?
like a mask on with a gun.
Yeah, sometimes you ain't even gotta wear no mask because you like fuck it.
Golly.
You like fuck it. Cause
And
guess
you're not
what?
worried about them coming back on you?
If they do come back, you know what? We ready for war. You get what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
Idiot shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Literally. And I ain't doing. And listen, never was a part of this type of lifestyle. I just followed it. So following it
And how
caused
much
me
money
to
was
tackle
like
on
a
the behavior.
So like some of the things you would do is like you would do just a straight up robbery where you'd get a gun mask, you knew the guy that was holding cash, and you'd stick him up for his cash. Other times you would see a guy, you knew where a guy would live, and then you just go rob his house when he wasn't there, right? And then what like how much money we
Guy,
talking
female,
here?
whoever.
Let me get
Um,
that one.
How much
it don't
money
matter.
do you?
It shit. It has to be a significant amount first and foremost. If it ain't about 5,000 or you feel me or more, we ain't touching it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Straight up. Yeah, yeah.
because
Because
you have to
it had
split
because
it
we're
two or
splitting.
three
Yeah,
ways.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So you're falling in with the wrong crowd and you're doing some robberies, home invasions, things like that. You have your technique down where you can either stick up a guy with the cash. Like you were just the technique was sniff out the cash, right? And you knew like they really couldn't call the police on the cash because it wasn't reported. And then you would just take the cash and run. And then if someone came back on it to try to get the cash from you, you would just go to war with them, right? That was your mentality?
So that was definitely the mentality. The strategy was always a success, because we never really encountered that. Well, really never. It's very seldom that we encounter any type of friction between anyone besides the friction that they already like
Okay, so
had prior
so
before I even even me knowing them. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, they had like previous situation. I get you. So
Exactly.
what what happened then? How did you get caught?
In my situation later on, um, which led to my incarceration in 2015. Uh, I ended up getting once I left the house. Uh, the so the dude's wife, which I knew, like I said, when I perform, I execute uh strategically. So I knew of the individual who sold a lot of weight. So when he was not there, um, of course, I executed, got into the residence and all that, and this is what led to me getting caught. The lady that he was dating, she ended up popping up out of nowhere. So she ended up coming in the crib. And I had somebody watching the house, right? I had somebody texting me every time, just keep an eye out. So they would text me, like, yo, okay, everything's good, good, good. Just timing everything. And I got the text a little late about her getting into the house, and she once she was in there, it was a little too late. So there was a gun along with the safe that I had took. Um so I hid for a moment because I had to get up out of there. So I hid for a moment in the bathroom, and sure enough, oddly, she just happens to come upstairs. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunate, crisis for her and I happened. Once she came upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Because I had no other choice but to, um, you know, put the pistol. As soon as she opened that door, I had no other choice but to put the pistol in her face. You know, to make the great escape. Not only that, to put the fear in her heart of this is the cause of why I'm doing this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
So
I made my way out the house, and then I went to my friend. My friend stayed right around the corner, probably like few blocks away from this dude's spot, and he just so happened to not be home. And I just hid the safe in his backyard. He had a shed, which was his girlfriend's crib. So they had a shed back there. I put the safe back there and the gun and all that because I took the gun with me and all that shit. And sure enough, there were cops just everywhere. It was crazy. I don't. They just so she called the cops that fast. You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
sure enough, they popped up. And when I was on the phone in my homeboy's backyard, look, because I was still texting him, seeing if he was, when he will be home, and because usually his back door is unlocked. I usually just go through the back door and just kick it in the back,
yeah.
back room. That day the back door was locked, and while I was sitting on they got like a picnic table in the backyard. I was sitting on the picnic table, just texting him like, yo, this, letting him know what's going on. I didn't know there were police, like moving out around the neighborhood until I got a phone call from another friend of mine who stays three houses down from Jason, which was the friend I was texting to get into his house, where I left the safe at. Well, as far as like the shed. And I got the phone call. My homeboy was like, yo, hey yo, where you at? He like, yo, where you at? I'm like, I ain't really want to tell, nobody nothing or what was going on. So I was being discreet about everything. So I'm like, wow, what's up? He like, yo, man, it's a whole bunch of cops around the neighborhood right now, man. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, you gotta come see this shit, man. This shit crazy. I'm like, no, no, no. So I told him, I was like, yo, are you serious? Cause I got that's when I really kind of got spooked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's when I was like, it got serious. I was like, yo, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, me and my mom out front right now. Rest in peace, Miss Betty. And he's like, yo, you good? You ain't had nothing to do with that because he knew type, I had got fired because this is what led to that robbery. I had got fired. I was getting paid 34 an hour. And the nigga got me kicked off of a great job, just jackhammering concrete. And I just went back, I reverted back into my old ways. So anyway,
Hmm.
that's another story, that's another story, piggybacking off of all of this. So anyway, he's alarming me. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm about to come to your house. He's like, yo, come to my house right now. And literally, you can just hop 3, 4 gates and get to his house. But mind you, my partner that was with me, he already started hopping the gate, and I was like, go, go. He was a younger guy. So I'm like, go ahead. I'll meet you over there. He's like, no, come on. I said, no, because I had all that money, and
Mm.
I didn't trust nobody. I wouldn't trust nobody with all that money because I took a lot of money from that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
A lot of money. I mean, and yeah, so I was standing by that safe, man. I was standing by that. So I
How big was the safe?
the safe was probably as big as um
It's like a
probably as big
computer
as
monitor.
a old school, like an old school. Remember them little when they started like making them just a little bit smaller, the boom boxes after the
Okay.
original
Yep.
ones. You know what I mean? All right,
Yep.
so it's
I
probably as
got
big as
you.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So what? Okay.
um
So it wasn't that big. All right.
I mean, yeah, no, it was heavy enough, you feel me, to carry, and that was it, you feel me,
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
up, and yeah. So anyhow, um, police, they're walking around, and sure enough, someone must have seen me, and because I still had my clothes on, you get what I'm saying? I still had my clothes on, the same clothes that I was in the house with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so someone must have seen me with the clothes on, and literally an officer crept up behind me out of nowhere, as one officer approached me, um, and literally stuck me up so fast it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And
Were
I
you
had fit the
wearing a
description.
mask
So
when you were in the house?
no, no, no,
Ah,
no. This is
boy.
how, because this is when you're good at this, you get cocky. So you
Yeah.
don't you don't like you slid it through the rope. You feel me? You slid it like that right there was a messy mission because I decided to do something that I wasn't supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? I should have when
Yeah.
it was time to go, it was time to go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was just time to go. As soon as I got that phone call from my friend, yo, come on, hop the gate right now. I was stubborn and what? Because it's the money.
Greedy. Yep.
Yes.
That's how
Yep.
it
Come
happens.
on, man. You feel me? And that got me, you feel me? That got me caught up. And sure enough, you feel me? That's what led to, the incarceration. You feel me? Unfortunately. You feel me?
So
Worst
so
fucking day
then
of my life.
so you get busted, you get taken in, and then the I guess did they bring the girl in to ID you?
So, you know, man, it's just a process, bro. Just put it like this. It was a hell of a process. And she identified me, I think probably by like a little later on that day via like she didn't like I was like in a car and shit, you feel me? And like she walked, is this him? You feel me? Yeah, this him. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, like facts. I mean, that shit was rough, bro. Like that shit was rough.
Damn, dude,
Fuck.
that's tough, man.
That shit was
Sorry.
real. It's like a haunting, a real life haunting, nigga. Excuse my language. It's
Yeah.
a real life haunting. You know what I
You're good,
mean?
man.
Straight up.
Sorry to make you relive that. So,
You all right?
okay. Yeah. The adrenaline's a real thing.
It's
It
So,
is. It is.
Josh,
You really
you all
get real
right?
endorphins from that shit. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Like it's not it's happy tears because it took a while to recover from this. Y'all don't know that. Y'all
Mm,
don't know that. That shit real.
mm,
You gotta recover from this type of shit, man. And for me,
yeah.
I had to overcome that me committing such a criminal fucking act, nigga.
Mm,
That's hard. That ain't easy. It seems easy, like, oh man, you just gotta apologize. You gotta apologize to yourself. No, you gotta apologize. Do you know the fucking trickle down effect that shit caused
Mm.
on people's family? And I'm in front of me. Nothing, no mail, nothing. But they get treated terribly. Nobody helping nobody. So it constantly continues. And so you watch that over and over throughout the years. That does something to you. And then you're selling time. You know, selling that die. That shit is real. That's like going to war. You wonder why they come back fucked up because ain't nobody talking to them. They just got sent out there for a body. This shit is terrible, man. All people are asking. I watch people literally reach out for help, man, because they don't know how to. God, they don't know how to change, man. They want to change, but they don't know how because they got no guidance, no instruction from no one. All they get is pure purgatory, man. Just because they made one mistake. I've watched these dudes suffer, man. Ripple effect. Family got to. If you ain't got no family, oh my God, you suffer in the worst way because you live through it and you have to. And if people don't share any food with you, you just survive off them 3 carts a day. You ain't got no soap to take no shower because they don't want to hand you no toothpaste. Don't want to give you no toilet paper. You can't. They they doing people wrong in there, man. And it's innocent people who just literally have been cultivated mentally by behavior tactic here. That's it. Nothing. That's all I learned from that. When I realized coming home, finding peace within myself finally. Because I had to make amends with myself to even consider all that. Like, damn, was that real? Are we really doing this to each other? In the midst of adversity? You watch COs trample you. They make your situation that much worse. My mom literally had to get her lawyer involved in one moment back in 2017 because there was a lady in the kitchen. Her name was Miss Harmon. Harmon was known as the most cruelest woman in the jail. Regarding her stature, her CO. You know, she her badge. She was a sergeant. She thought she could do anything. Anything. I watched this. This is why I'm so emotional about it, because people still suffering right now as we speak. Just like overseas, but nevertheless, Harmon got everyone in the kitchen fighting against each other. She had inmates fighting against each other. With her. And then you have another group siding with themselves because they don't want to follow her formation. So she'll get you caught up in a hole. You lose your good time that you're just honestly working for because you want to go home. Make it make sense. It's bad. It's bad, and it's a horrible experience because guess what? It's a lot of people. There's a lot of brothers in there. Jail ain't going to work for you because it's not working because I watched it. 7 years. My study had 13. My other study did 7. He came home and died. The others, they got shot in the head. The others died. Murders. That shit is real. It's scary because like when you come home, I still look at my mom and them to this day like, holy shit, that's my mom. Like I'm really like in front of my mom. Like that shit, I don't even know how to describe that feeling. Cause that's how long I never would have thought that I would even put her through some shit like that, let alone the other side of the family. Which her name was Stacy. Sorry, Stacy. Her family. What about her family? You see, so the haunting. This is why I act the way I do. This is why I think the way I think. This is why I changed the way I was thinking. Because I figured it out. It's a diabolical way of thinking if you take on these behaviors of the world we live in. This is why everything's so chaotic around this motherfucker. This is why we out here. I don't know what to do. I'm depressed. I'm stressed. Nobody's talking no more. Because they damn sure wasn't talking to us in there. They actually held it on us that much more. Oh, you're an inmate. Oh, get naked. Get naked right now. Huh? Get naked. Strip. Strip, what you mean? Strip. Right now. It's a shakedown. We just want to check your cell, but we also want to see you get naked. Just because we can deprive you of that nature. It's no different than slavery if you ever read about it. You know, under the Constitution, this is the type of lifestyle that is allowed and it's approved according to the Constitution. Once you're incarcerated, though, and it hurts. That's why I want to I don't want to talk about hurting nobody no more because that's not my nature. That's never been my nature. That's the gut. I was talking about. I replicated a behavior of chaos. Governments create that shit. We don't. Fuck out of here. I know good brothers that can run a country in there. I ain't lying to you not. So smart, you'd be like, what the fuck? How the hell? And it's just for the mere fact of how they were living, how the conditions of their households, because they weren't financially stable. We talking about paper, y'all. That has caused this, man. We're talking about paper. I'm done, bro. Sorry, bro. We're talking about paper, though, bro. That's caused all this erratic behavior. You feel me? Seriously.
I feel you,
and
buddy.
It saddens me, bro. Because it's my people. It's not a racial thing. My mama never raised me like that. I don't even believe in a shit like that. That's diabolical. Devilish. I hate it. It's not godly. It's not a godly way of living. It's not of our home. It's not of us, period. And my people are still suffering in 2024 that I know of. Right now, incarcerated, inside and outside.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, Josh, and thank you for sharing that. And I know it's tough. It's tough for you to relive that, and I appreciate you doing that, man. And I know it takes a lot of courage to be able to speak about that stuff. And the true emotion you showed was real. That was real. And I appreciate you for sharing that, man. I really do. And that's tough, dude. That's tough. And whoever that sergeant lady was, she deserves, I mean, that's just awful to treat other human beings that way. Awful.
Bro, that is terrible, bro. It's haunting. Like I said, it's haunting because you wake up and you can't leave it. You can't go nowhere. That's the scary part. When I realized that I couldn't go nowhere.
You're just held hostage, man.
You just can't go nowhere. And you have to work where they tell you to work. So if they tell you to work in the kitchen in order to get a good time of 5 days, which that means and consists of you getting 5 days taken off of your sentence. So you get 5 days a month taken off of your sentence every year.
Yeah.
So that's what allows us to do 85% of the time, and not all of it. You get what I'm saying? So if you have someone in there that knows that knows that, they know this. They know this. They're like, oh, these motherfuckers up in here working. They gotta work in order to get good time. They want to go home.
Yeah.
Man, when I tell you she played chess with us, man, and she teetered and tethered food as the main source, the main valuable thing in there, because she can bring it from the streets. She can bring the drugs from the streets. She had all access to everything any man wanted from the streets. So whose side do you think they're gonna take?
Yeah.
So when she called me in the office one day, and literally it's 2 something in the morning, Matt. She's yelling at the top of her lungs for nothing. For nothing. Ridiculing, criticizing, doing anything that can inhabit any type of negativity in a man. Just to degrade you, just because. And it was weird. So that day, I decided to take a stand, and I got her. I called my mom and my sister, and like I said, see these ripple effects. I had to get my family back involved into this lifestyle. Here are the ripple effects again. Now I get my mom involved again. Hey, mom, I got a problem going on with an officer. But my mom, she's not playing. What the fuck are you talking about? She got any long story short story long. It got situated, but why did it have to happen? No, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It
Yeah.
shouldn't have to happen.
Yeah.
We're just doing time. We're not asking for all the frivolous nonsense content that is occurring here.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for expressing yourself that way and having the courage and the forthwith to be able to do so. I mean, you really put yourself out there, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you sharing that, and and putting your true feelings out there. It really means a lot, and I'm really thankful for that. And I hope in some way it's healing for you also to be able to speak about it, because it is rough. So, but we are coming towards the top of time. And like I said in the description of this episode, we'll have a link to hybrid homes underscore 88, which is your Instagram, where you can get all your art and see your videos. And also, you have like some videos of you on there as well, talking and things like that, right?
Yeah, and I will be posting more content on there very
Excellent.
soon, very soon. So thank you, man.
Excellent. Of course. So, Josh, before we get out of here, is there anything you'd like to say to your friends and family before we take off?
For my friends, um I sincerely, really, honestly care and understand you all to agree that I just, I can't even fathom it no more, that, on as far as the love aspect of it. And to my family, it's the same. I just appreciate all the support that they've shown. And remember, we don't accomplish our assignments on our own here. We take on these assignments here upon this planet, and we act as if once we do achieve a certain amount of success, as if we did it alone, as if we're really self-made, when really that's not the occurrence here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate my family for getting me to where I am right now, or just assisting on the journey. And I really appreciate our Father in heaven, you feel me, for allowing this moment right here, to be shared, and to even just meet people such as yourself that I can consider a friend. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. And here's
Let,
your unicorn too.
let me
Uh,
see. What we got?
man, you feel me?
Come on, put it. I can't see it. Put it in the center. Holy sh! Hold on one sec. Du-du-du. Wow. Wow. That is
Man,
incredible.
some light for your daughter and them. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that is incredible that you did all of that in this short amount of time.
It's nothing, bro.
Wow.
And I ain't even color it yet, bro. So
Dude,
yeah, I'll give it to you
I
whenever I
mean,
see you again.
dude, that's real talent, man.
Nah,
Real
for sure.
talent. For all those listening out watching, you can find this type of art on hybrid homes underscore 88. Man, that is beautiful. Great job. Thank you for that. And
Yeah,
speaking
yeah, yeah.
of the purple unicorns, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle,
Purple
accompanied by
unicorn.
Jdubs, Justin Richardson, and our guest today is the one and only Josh Holmes. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. See you.